Well, ladies and gentlemen, I woke up this morning to an email. And I'm not even going to say it was a shocking email because, quite frankly, what I just read and what I just became aware of is exactly what I had already predicted and told you guys was going to happen. So now we have all of the Walmarts in Portland, Oregon closing down. Now, let's just be 100% clear about what this means, okay? It means that the two Walmarts in Portland are closing, or however many there were. There weren't that many, and they're all going to close. Now, more importantly than that is the simple fact that Walmart is making a clear message and they're letting it be known, and they're not the only ones, okay? This is going to happen more and more, just as I predicted and suspected based on what information we had available to us, what was happening, and what these rich folks want more than anything else is to continuously get more rich or richer, whichever one it is, richie. They don't like this, okay? They don't like what comes with the association of being connected and tied to poor people. And that includes crime, theft, loss, pain, agony, headache, legal battles, legal trouble, problems. Folks, the writing is on the wall. It should be very clear by now. If not, let me explain. So KPTV Fox 12 in Oregon reported that all Portland Walmart stores to permanently close. And this is already on a growing list of other Walmarts that have been closing around the country and more to come. And like I told you guys, they're going to be in specific neighborhoods, specifically targeting certain neighborhoods because at the end of the day, they have a goal that they are trying to accomplish. But more so than just having a goal and it being a dream or a wish, they have a plan attached to this. They have a strategy. They have prepared to wipe you folks out, okay? Let's take a look at these comments here. That's really going to inconvenience a lot of people who will have to find a new place to shoplift. I don't even know if I need to read any more comments because it clearly embodies the essence of what is happening, and Walmart is leading the charge. And folks, there are more companies on the way. I'm not going to read the rest of these comments. You guys can read the comments. The simple fact of the matter is they are making it abundantly clear and very obvious of their plans, what they want, and more importantly, who they don't want to be associated with and tied to moving forward. And we've seen this happen before, okay? We've seen it happen before. We're seeing it happen more so now recently than ever. And there's some big names, celebrities leading this, okay? I just saw a headline the other day for Oprah Winfrey, but more so probably widely known and recognized as being in the news recently is one half of the Splash Brothers, Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, who's saying, what is it, NIMBY? NIMBY? These folks in California come up with some of the craziest things, folks. Not in my backyard. NIMBY. The folks with money, the folks with wealth, with power, with resources, they are banding together and they are distancing themselves from the poor. Now, this is literally the middle class being wiped out, folks. And I'm not trying to say that if you're middle class, you're poor, but mathematically, if you're on the lower end of the spectrum of how middle class income is calculated, and depending on what city or zip code you live in, then odds are you're probably not well off. Plain and simple. This is just the facts, folks. Don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger here. But they are distancing themselves. I actually was at years ago, I was at Cobb Energy. I think it was Cobb Energy. And Daniel Tosh 2.0, he was doing a stand-up comedy there. And he had a heckler in the crowd. And long story short, he won. The heckler shut up and ultimately was removed from the venue. But he goes, you know what? I'll solve this problem. Next time I'll raise my ticket prices. That's just it, folks. Those with money, those with power, those with resources, those folks get what they want, and they'll do it by exactly what I told you and how I told you they would accomplish this, by pricing you out of the game. You think inflation is really controlled by the Fed? No. You think that the numbers that we're seeing, the CPI report numbers that the Fed can't get under control, has anything to do with their interest rates? No. When you don't want to be associated with the people who are causing you problems, you distance yourself from them, which is another thing that I shared with you guys before about your personal circles. And if your personal circles are not allowing you to grow and improve, then perhaps maybe you should do the same. Dave Chappelle, another one. Certain cities he won't visit, certain crowds he won't get into, certain places he won't go. Why? Because he doesn't want to be associated with it. He's got enough money to make any choice or decision that he wants to make. And that's what's going to happen, folks. And it's not just Walmart either. This fight is coming to home. It's coming to your job. It's coming to your city. It's coming to your personal family balance sheet, and your household economy is at risk. Oklahoma City manhunt underway after Hobby Lobby employee shoots and kills manager at distribution center. I don't know how else I can tell you guys that Walmart, Hobby Lobby, whatever store it may be, whatever company, whatever Fortune 500, Fortune 100 company, they don't want this anymore, okay? And this comes with the people. This comes with the employees. This comes with historically and typically the lower end spectrum of the income brackets, okay? And the less resourceful, poorer income earners, okay? The lower income, the lower end of the middle class, they don't want this. And I'm going to prove it to you. Apple abruptly closes North Carolina store following multiple shootings at mall. Well, what are we seeing now? We're seeing malls being emptied and vacated. Not because of the consumers and the shoppers don't want it anymore, but because the stores, the businesses don't want to be there anymore. Why? The profitability is down the toilet. People are sitting here worried and concerned about earning a living wage. You should be worried and concerned about having the opportunity to even have a job. And that living wage is a whole bunch of nonsense. We can get into that in another video. We talk about it in another video. This isn't, in my opinion, a time at which we should be angered by those who have. This, in my opinion, is a time to focus on achieving more and making sure that you and yourself and your family and your business is situated and positioned in a way where you don't fall by the wayside and get wiped out by their master plan, okay? The best way to get what you want is to eliminate all that you don't. I actually had somebody tell me that here recently, and that their projections for 2023 and what they wanted was more of the same, more of what they had in 2022. And this is exactly what's happening as we see Okaloosa Walton deputies stress zero tolerance policy ahead of spring break. This is hitting home, folks, for me, because what those folks want, they're going to get, okay? But what they want more so than anything is less traffic, less waste, less riffraff, less people who they deem don't belong. That way, they can have a nice, calm, safe, worry-free, altercation-free, drama-free, revenue-producing, profit-producing sales environment where you need less customers, fewer transactions at higher price tags to earn more money. And there are enough people who are in these positions to make that happen. Don't think that they can't do it, okay? It says that the Okaloosa County, Florida, the start of March ushers in spring break, which begins this weekend, and the Okaloosa and Walton County Sheriff's Office will have all deputies working to make sure spring break is orderly and lawful. I said it 2 days ago. There's a lot of cops out. I ain't gonna lie. For the last 3 months, I seen like one police officer, and these guys down here, they're chill, they're cool. They don't have much that they really need to do. But when spring break ramps up and the drunken crowd shows up, that's when they have to spring into action. But what they're going to do is they're going to shut it down before it even starts. Okay, and odds are will probably be some serious changes made to a lot of businesses in the locale that don't quite meet the standard that they are setting by city and county officials. Okay, this goes beyond just the store owners and the business owners. So FYI, make sure that your business is aligned and ready to adapt with these changes that are coming, because there could be a time where this Walmart that we have here down the street is not there anymore. That could be a collective group effort between Doug McMillan and the city of Destin or Okaloosa County, or a combination, because they're closing down stores around the country for underperforming. They didn't meet their financial expectations. Can you imagine how much it would cost to shut down a store and then realize all those lost revenues moving forward? They are okay with that because they're going to make it up in other ways. And I've explained to you a lot of the other ways that they're working on doing this, between raising prices and eliminating jobs, bringing in AI, automation, and technology, getting into healthcare, selling their tech, selling your customer data. They got this figured out, folks. The thing is I don't know if everyone else has it figured out yet, because when this hammer drops, it's going to do more than just what these comments said previously of inconvenience the customers, or more so the shoplifters. It's going to have a lasting impact, which I've already called it. We're going to see more cities and officials and businesses and investors and lenders and banks and financial institutions and politicians and lawmakers getting behind driving up the cost of living in a variety of ways to push out those who can't afford it and don't belong, or at least they don't want to be around. Maybe shuttling them off to another city that they don't like. I don't know. But there's going to be a push for that. Then your only options will be all expensive options. Therefore, if you're not working to earn more money and having increased amounts of wealth and building passive income and multiple income streams, you are going to be at risk. But they're going to make this push to make this happen. And what happens is, when the only option or the cheapest option is still really, really expensive, like $3-4 it'll all be fine, because the only people who will survive in these areas are those who have the means and the resources and the financial stability and prowess to do that. But then they're all supporting each other by driving up these values. And it's abundantly clear, folks. I've seen it. I saw it 2 weeks ago in a town right down the street, high dollar community, 30A, and they have police. But the police, in theory, are to protect and serve. But in this community, these police more so serve than protect, because the people who show up are not out there causing problems. These people are spending millions and millions of dollars to support these communities, and the tax dollars go to fund these city and county run public service organizations and groups. So they don't need to set speed traps. They don't need to try to produce revenue at the end of the month, because they got it covered. And the people buying into it pay those taxes and pay those fees to be a part of that, to not have to deal with the nonsense that we see happening around the country. This is going to continue on moving throughout the country. And then what will happen is we'll see the introduction of this CBDC, the central bank digital currency. So all those less fortunate, all those begging on the street corners, panhandlers, holding the signs, asking for money and things like that, the cash won't even be there anymore to support them, and they won't have the technological means of being able to do and conduct transactions with these currencies, this new currency, this new dollar, the digital dollar that replaces the paper money. And if they did, the government, the Fed, would be able to track their every move. They would be able to manipulate and push them where they want them to go if they were able to even survive to that point. Let me know if you think that I'm completely off target, off base here, because it seems abundantly clear to me what's happening, what's going on, what their primary focus and objective is, the plan and the strategy that they have prepared and have put in place that they're executing on to make this happen. And it's only going to benefit those who have, only going to benefit those with abundant resources, only going to benefit those in a particular income bracket. And the new middle class will be a relatively high earning group of people. But odds are many previously considered middle class will now be lower class or just completely wiped out. Maybe they'll move to Mexico or something. I don't know. Folks, I'm only bringing this information to you to keep you aware, keep you up to date, keep you ahead of the game, keep you in the know of what's happening, folks. Free links in the description if you want to check them out. Ways to build wealth, diversify your investments, make money, yada, 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 if you care. I got another video in the works that I want to bring to you guys about a very important topic, specifically about what we just discussed and all these people with money, what they're doing with their money, how they got their money, and more importantly, how you can do the same if you are interested. Spoiler alert, this is not their problem, really. If you consider yourself to be lower income, less fortunate, lacking savings, buried in debt, poor credit, dead-end job, barely able to earn a living wage to get by, it's not their problem. And they are not trying to solve it for you or for anyone else who's not them. It's clearly apparent by their actions here. But if you want to know how, if you want to take action, I'm putting that video together for you guys. So just stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, turn on your alerts so you're notified when that video drops. See you on the next one.